Hi everyone, my name is Kelly and welcome to my channel Be You. Basically, my channel is all about metaphysics and using metaphysics to help you in whatever way it can with wherever you're at your journey. So this is going to be my third video channeling JamiSo'mar, and basically they're just a higher consciousness of a collective consciousness. She does come to me as a female energy, but she's never just one, it's a group. But it's just easier for me to channel and easier for me to have a name. So she chose that name, and then she also chose how to spell it. So again, if you're new to channeling or if you're interested in learning how to channel, basically you just kind of start by opening your mind, or some people would say opening your third eye. And that's as basic as meditating every day. I've been channeling for many years, and I have to admit, I do enjoy it. Sometimes life as a human can be taunting and hard. And sometimes, we forget that we are here as a soul and a human experience, and that this life is supposed to be all about love and joy. And sometimes when we're in the middle of conflict or something, that's the least that we can remember, is that this is supposed to be a fun, enjoyable feeling. And if not, they always say reach for a better feeling. And sometimes you can't reach for a better feeling, and that's okay. You are where you are. I have been doing lots of ups and downs my whole entire life. But basically, a few years ago, I chose a different path because I wasn't happy and I was always angry and always upset. And I just wanted, there had to be better, something better in life for me. That's what I remember saying um, very clearly one day. And that kind of just shifted and it just opened up. And one of the greatest sayings is, when the student is ready, a teacher will appear. And throughout my healing, I had tons of wonderful teachers just come in and right when I was ready and gave wonderful messages and also healing. I've got so many certifications of just healing that I went and got received for myself. And I couldn't believe it. Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, so I have an incense burning right now. It's a blood dragon incense, dragon blood, sorry. So yeah, I'm just kind of feeling already kind of like she's ready to come in. And like I said, as you start channeling and the more and more you practice, the quicker it will be to get to that vibration level so you can be a channel to them. But you always want to kind of go in as an open mind. But I've been doing this for a while where even if I'm not having the best day and I'm just kind of stuck in my own patterns and my own beliefs, I can still get them to channel. And it's one of the greatest feelings because then I feel so much better because they just come in and they love you unconditionally. So if you ever feel like you're not loved unconditionally by anyone, there's tons and tons of beings out there that are sending you love 24/7, unconditionally love with nothing in return, no judgment. They're just here when you need them, and they're here when you don't even know that they're here. They're still here helping. So, on that note, I'm going to go ahead and just close my eyes for a little bit because it just helps me center and it helps me just kind of get a feel of her coming fully in, which is really they, but she's going to refer to herself as her. Um, and I have no clue. And the greatest thing about channeling is that you have no clue what they're going to say. You have no script that you're reading off of. You're just allowing them to channel through you, and whatever comes, comes. So hopefully you enjoy. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. It's very relaxing just to kind of feel out the body. And also, when you're in tuning to your body, how many people actually stop and in tune to what your body's saying? Most people tend to just keep pushing the body and pushing the body and pushing the body, where the body has no choice but to react by getting hurt or by being in pain because you're not really listening to your body. You're just pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And sometimes you push it beyond the limits of the human body. There's lots of parts of you inside you that is not limited at all. Your mind is not limited, but the brain is. Your soul is not limited. Your essence is not limited. But this human body does die. Now, a lot of people are afraid of death. And you ever stop to wonder why? Some people would say it's not death itself, it's how you go out. How do you leave this planet? But if you truly believe that this life is a dream that you're creating, then you will never fear death. So let's talk about basically what happens when someone passes. So, great example. Let's say that you have a loved one that you're not that close to, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, that person dies. They pass. You had so much anger and frustration with that person that you cannot forgive them. And then all of a sudden, they're no longer there. So then you have guilt trips and you beat yourself up going, "Oh, I should have forgave this person. I should have forgave them. Now I can't. Now I have to live with this forever. There were so many things I wanted to say, but I couldn't say it to them." Excuse me. And then now I won't have that opportunity. So those are all limiting beliefs that you programmed yourself to believe. You can talk to anyone that has passed. It's as simple as calling their name. Nose always itch when I come through. But it's as simple as calling their name. But are you ready to have that conversation? You have to realize once someone passes and they have fully transitioned onto the other side, they do not have the same feelings as they did when they were alive. That means if they were angry at you or if they felt regret or any kind of feeling that wasn't positive or happy or joyful, it's no longer there. So when they come to you, sometimes you won't even remember, you won't even think it's them because it feels so much different. We really want to help people tonight are the ones that are stuck, that has lost someone and they weren't in a good place with that person when they passed. And that you're spiraling out of control and you are self guilting yourself over and over and over. And we have to say, I have to say to you, please stop. Let's take a moment. Say that person name 3 times. Hmm. Hmm. So we feel very guided to kind of shift what we normally are going to talk about. because death is definitely coming for a lot of people that will watch this video. So one that's coming is a father, and the living person here is a daughter. The daughter always felt not very close to her father, and then all of a sudden, he just died. It was quick, it was painless, it happened overnight. Didn't see it coming. So, as the daughter thought she had all the time in the world to forgive him for not being the father she wanted, now it's time to forgive yourself because your dad does not want that anymore for you. He wants you to let go of the anger and the fear that you're going to carry this forever and just let it go. You know who this message is for because you will feel it in your heart. And it's going to be for lots of people. And perhaps if you're watching this and you go, oh, wow, that sounds like my friend, then maybe you need to share it with that person. Remember, everyone, that no one can ever love you the way you want to be loved. It's not possible. They love you the best that they can with all their patterns and their beliefs that they were handed from their parents, and then that came from their parents and their parents. So, let's talk about something that not a lot of people want to talk about. Abusive families, dysfunctional families. When is enough enough? Maybe you believe that it's a way out. Oh, I can't help that. That's how I was raised. Oh, my family, they're so mentally unstable. I want nothing to do with them. You have to realize that you chose them and you chose this path with them and this interaction, this contrast, because there always has to be contrast. Without contrast, there would not be the opposite, which is fun, love, all that stuff on the opposite side of contrast. Contrast helps you grow. It shows how much you have grown from perhaps if you keep doing a pattern every time you realize that you've done it a little bit differently. You have shifted it a little bit differently. So, victims with dysfunctional family or mental families, people with mental problems, tend to have a lot of victims. And you won't let go of the victim. So, therefore, you're keeping yourself stuck. It's not a good feeling. Even playing the victim, is it really a good feeling? I guarantee you it does not bring you joy or happiness. Instead, it brings guilt, anger, frustration. And then what happens? Then you bury the emotions and you never quite get past it until you have another explosion, another contrast. And then, before you know it, all it is contrast, and no one's really listening or hearing what anyone else has to say. Not every family is what you guys would say perfect. But maybe if you walk away tonight realizing that you have chose your family, you chose this bloodline for a reason, for your own soul path and your life's path. Maybe perhaps it will allow you to see what you've been wanting to see for a while. with Kelly being a medium and her going into houses and clearing all the people that are stuck in between this world and the other world, the other side. She has realized that, let's say, abuse that has been passed down through generation to generation, she will realize going into a house that there's multiple people from that family that are stuck. Why is that? That's because it was a victim and a belief pattern that they could not go into the light. They would be judged. And then therefore they stayed. A part of them stayed stuck. And then the one that they impacted, when they passed, they were too afraid to move forward and go towards the light, that they stayed. And she found that interesting that they seemed to be together in certain locations, but yet they didn't see one another because they were on different paths, different vibrational levels. Through her work as clearing houses and medium, she got them to cross, and then she realized that if she calls in the whole family bloodline, then anyone who is stuck in between this world and the next will come. And then it heals the bloodline and the generations to come after the bloodline. So it's never too late to heal. Even if that person is gone, it's never too late to heal yourself and heal your bloodline. Now, let's say you go, okay, well, I'm ready. I'm ready to heal, but this person in my family isn't. That's okay. You can heal yourself, and it still helps heal the bloodline, the past, the present, and the future. So if you are stuck in this, I'm the victim, which a lot of people do choose that because it's so much easier to blame someone else than look in the mirror and take responsibility. But to get the happiness, sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to have those talks with yourself that you really don't want to have. Sometimes you have to have those talks with your family members that you do not want to have. But at the end of the day, what if you feel so much better if you do have them? And always remember, if you feel uncomfortable, that just means the shift is ready and that you're moving into a different path to the unknown. So, of course, your outer ego will try to come in and get you to be stuck and stay right where you're at. It is very easy for us to say, let go of the hurt that you have, that this person has done to you. But listen to that statement. Let go of what this person has done to you. Sounds like a victim. Instead, this person did this because this is my path. It's shaping something, or it shaped something inside me where I became this, or I did this, or I went this way because of that contrast that happened. Most people who get in certain fields of work tend to come from abusive families, and whatever abuse that is. There's so many different kinds. Some of the greatest books are written sharing their story of how they survived or how they let go of all the anger they had and all the frustration and took back control and took back their life because they were ready to be them. Your family's past shapes you for a point, but it does not make you. So I'll repeat that. Your family's past does shape you to a point, but it does not make you who you are. If you are one that is extremely angry, then maybe you should be asking yourself why. Why are you so angry? Normally, anger, there's something it's covering. So all you get is the anger, but you don't go deeper because maybe you're afraid to go deeper. So the message tonight was to attune to your loved ones that are no longer here, that you have contrast with, and forgive and let go and see what happens in your life. If you can't, then maybe get a journal out and write them a letter and then choose to burn the letter, to carry the letter, to do whatever you feel guided to do. Sometimes writing things out helps your body and your mind get it down and out of the body. So if you're someone who's filled with a lot of anger and that you're not ready to forgive that person, perhaps journaling would be best for you. Start somewhere. That's all you have to do. Start somewhere and then keep going. But remember, whenever you start to feel that you're playing that victim, maybe you kind of stop and go, why? Hmm. I think what we're going to do is I'm going to end this video and then I'm going to grab a card deck. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to say some messages from loved ones that are on the other side to people that really need to hear this so that they can finally heal and close that chapter so they can start becoming more of themselves. So we'll be right back.